Hello, boys and girls. This is SOS, new YouTube channel dedicated to just reacting to football stories, reviewing things like that, using the knowledge that I've got attained over years of watching football, playing football, from donkeys from the age of about 3. Let's start off with a bang. Really, massive news. I'm a Man United fan from Manchester. So the news that Cristiano Ronaldo could be joining our closest rivals, Man City, kind of surreal, really. Kind of feels like we're in some kind of twisted alternate reality. It began with COVID, the Super League, nonsense happened. And I thought that was kind of the weirdest I would have felt regarding football this year. Follow that with Messi to PSG. That wasn't so bad. Felt sorry for Barca fans, obviously. But then this one is, wow, that's taken the cake, really. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, legend at United for the short time he was there. He won a Ballon d'Or at United. Was like the driving force over, numerous trophy wins, Premier League titles, the Champions League victory in 2008, and then we almost went back to back in 2009, losing to Barcelona before he then left to Real Madrid. And he held such a special place for United fans. We still sing his name at the stadium, and Fergie being, the father figure that he is to Ronaldo, you always felt that connection meant that, he probably wouldn't explore the Premier League again, certainly with no other club, knowing that, he's had such a history, holds such a place, held in such high regard with the United faithful, to hear this news. I mean, Fabrizio Romano, as most of you probably follow on Twitter, about, what time is it now? 9:35. On the day this broke, 47 minutes ago, talking about how his agent Mendes has landed in Porto, and he's working to complete the agreement on personal terms on the contract for Ronaldo. Juve apparently want 28 to 30 million euros fee for Ronaldo, and Man City will decide the next step soon. Now that the Harry Kane situation's off the table, with Harry Kane staying at Spurs, I very much think this is likely to go through. It's got a lot of traction now. Most transfers, when they progress, they build momentum very quickly. When they're reaching those final stages, it certainly feels like one of those. So, as a United fan, how do I feel about it? I have mixed feelings, really. I'm not as bitter as, some fans have heard. Some notable channels on YouTube as well, quite bitter about it. I think he has reached a stage in his career where really it's to him, to Cristiano, it's about defining his greatness. He wants to go down as the greatest player of all time, at the very least the greatest goal scorer, and so to do that, he has to move on from Juventus. He has to go to a place where he's guaranteed not silverware, because he could get that at Juve, but we're on the cusp of the Champions League. Juve not really very close, bar that time that they lost to Barcelona in the Champions League final, when Pogba was still there. They've not been close, and City, they're getting closer and closer. And to me, a recognised centre forward, at least a box player that's gonna get on those tap-ins. I mean, if you think of a la Raheem Sterling at City, the reason why his goal record is so good is because he's such a good box player. He makes those late runs, gets right to the 6-yard line when the crosses come in, and it's tap-in City, isn't it? So I think Ronaldo, especially with his aerial ability as well, and probably solve their penalty problem at Man City, which they've had issues for, well, it's wildly acknowledged, isn't it? They've tried Rodri taking penalties, De Bruyne, even Aguero, the great man Aguero, for City fans, he was pretty inconsistent when it came to penalties. Ronaldo going to guarantee you penalty goals. I wouldn't go as far as to call him Penaldo, but it's certainly going to be similar to Lukaku at Chelsea, sort of the final piece of the jigsaw for them. And I think where I'm sour is just the fact that we know the rivals of Man City, Chelsea. It really feels like they're competing with each other. They have a sort of a freedom to do what they can in the market. Because they've got rich owners, but rich owners that actually back the club and the manager, because they want to achieve recognition for dominating the English league. Whereas the Glazers at United, it's very much a kind of less extreme version of what's going on at Arsenal in terms of initially when Wenger was kind of coming to the end, it was all just about hitting top four and that was it. I feel as though United are close to that, but in terms of just the sheer size of Man United and the draw that brings, and the kind of wages that we can offer some players, I still think we'll sort of maintain relevance, certainly in the top 3 or 4 of the Premier League, and then you can have the occasional good run in a season, really. So to those fans that at United who are like, Man United should sign Cristiano Ronaldo, like, come on, we don't need a striker. We have Edison Cavani. He'll be gone in a year, but this is all with the aim that either Mason Greenwood's going to take over the mantle there, be a year older, a year more experienced, and I think this will be his best year yet as well in the United shirt. He's just recently been left out of the England squad as well, which, considering the way he started, even though we've had mixed results to begin with, I think he's got like a chip on his shoulder, he's got the bit between his teeth. I expect a big season from him, and then, like I said, Cavani is just going to kind of come in, certain key games, maybe when he hits a vein of form, you get him in the team, that type of thing. And then it's all with the idea that we're going to sign Erling Haaland. I would imagine that's who we're going to go for. That would be the marquee signing. The sticking point being Mino Raiola, classically ridiculous agent fees, kind of like the agent equivalent of Daniel Levy in terms of how difficult it is to get deals over the line and to sort of get what you want out of the deal. Really a hard bargain all the time. I think the Norwegian connection with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think that's obviously got to be hopefully something that pushes the deal, and then this Ronaldo talk will just be forgotten about. United fans will just be happy again because they've got a kind of like a Zlatan type striker, except when I was younger and I was desperate to have Zlatan at the club when he was young, where he could have really fulfilled the Cantona mantle. I mean, we were quite successful then, so it really wasn't a demand at all in any way, whereas like now, I mean, Haaland, he's not only plays a lot like Zlatan, but he's also rapid, which is where I think he could take his game even further than what Zlatan did, which is hard to believe because of the amount of trophies that Zlatan, in terms of league titles, consecutive league titles, it was absolutely ridiculous. I just think Ronaldo, not for United. Like, the whole argument that United should have signed Ronaldo and it's a lack of ambition to sign Ronaldo, and now our local rivals, our big rivals, City, have stolen the deal or something, or are like mocking United and doing this kind of business. I don't buy that at all. It's nonsense. It's simple. Ronaldo, he wants to go down as one of the greatest footballers of all time, if not the greatest. To do this, and stay relevant towards the end of his career, this is the perfect move for him. To get back in the Premier League. The Premier League is where it's at the moment. We've seen what's happened to La Liga, seen what's happened because of the Messi move and the financial situations of the top clubs. The demand isn't there. The demand is in the Premier League, and so if he wins, a couple of league titles with City, can secure that Champions League title that City, that's eluded them for so long, then he goes down as a City legend. I know it sounds ridiculous if it's only like a 2-season stint, but the Champions League is like holy grail now, isn't it? That's what they're desperate for. The fans are desperate for, because they've achieved so much already in a short space of time. The other trophies, like for example another League Cup, who cares about another League Cup? That is something that the clubs, admittedly, probably like United at the moment, are trying to attain some kind of level of success of that size, in terms of getting a winning mentality back in the club and getting young talented players in the club that winning feeling, to then go on to bigger and better things. Whereas for City, been there, done that. That would not be acceptable, I think, for Pep, especially as he reaches his end of his contract 2023, and the fact that he said he was going to leave, take a break, and then maybe look to do an international gig next, in the next phase of his managerial career. Just to kind of sum up, really, United fans, forget about it. Don't worry, Ronaldo going to City. It's about doing our own business, and as we know, we haven't done all the business that we need. We needed a defensive midfielder. That was evident from the Southampton game. Matic, who as much as I really liked him as a player when he was in his prime or somewhere close to it, he just doesn't have the legs anymore to kind of cover the ground, especially the fast, high pressing team. We haven't done that business to replace him, and we have to settle for an inept midfield that can't keep possession under high press. And so it's going to be another season where we're experiencing a bit of deja vu, I would imagine, in terms of how it all goes. But yeah, it's Ronaldo is not the piece that we need in the puzzle. It's that defensive midfielder, and then we can address that the following season. And like I said, Haaland being the sort of like the dream scenario there. And yeah, like I say, if we signed Erling Haaland, everyone would forget about this Ronaldo situation, especially if Chelsea win the league, especially if City don't win the Champions League, which could easily happen. The competition is hot at the moment for the Champions League. Like I say, Chelsea at it again, City, but then the likes of PSG and Bayern, it's not an easy trophy to win, and as we've seen with Juventus, Ronaldo does not secure you that trophy. Alright, so that's it from me for the first vid. Thanks for listening, and please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.